Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make this short because it's getting kind of late, and I didn't expect to be at the tail end, but that's just the way the cards fell. My name is Mendoza, and my mother calls me Buddy. That's why on the ballot will have the name Buddy. I am very much interested in being your congressman because I believe that you need someone who is going to be a humble servant and is not going to serve himself, but serve you. You know, that may sound hokey, but I can honestly tell you that that's exactly how I feel. I was fortunate to have been brought up by my parents, and I was very active in the scouting program. I'm an Eagle Scout, and those principles have been ingrained in me, and I will put those to use for you. Thank you very much.
Okay, any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm a Democrat?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about the Dream Act?
You know, that's a real interesting question, because there's two sides to that, people that are for it and against it. I really believe in education, and it's unfortunate that we as taxpayers have to pay for it. But education should be paramount, because without education, we wouldn't have the few seats that we have filled. We need more people. If they were educated, we'd have this place jam-packed. But as to answer your question as far as the Dream Act, I do support the Dream Act.
Yes, sir.
At a previous forum, when asked about the problems going on in Juarez, you advocated for making Mexico part of an American Commonwealth. Can you expand on what you were talking about that day?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I've been thinking about this for a long time because I grew up here. This is my home. Esta es mi casa. And I used to go to Juarez growing up. As a matter of fact, my first pair of shoes were boots that were made by Botero in Juarez. And I used to go, my dad used to take me to Juarez to get a haircut with his barber. And so Mexico, to me, of course, I'm an American, and as a matter of fact, I'm a seventh generation American, and I really believe that the problems in Mexico can only be resolved with the aid of their neighbor to the north, which is the United States. First of all, Mexico lacks a Second Amendment. Otherwise, you wouldn't have all that terrorism that's going on in Mexico. I really believe in the right to bear arms. And if Mexico is made a commonwealth of the United States, of course, they have to decide that. We're not going to force them to do it. I mean, after all, they're our neighbor. We're not going to do that. Also, Mexico needs the rule of law. That is lacking. And of course, the United States would benefit because Mexico has very many resources. You have oil and precious metals that would help. And we would be able to employ people from here as well as elsewhere. That's the first time that was used. I want to go on the record. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am humbly honored to be here this evening, in spite of the fact that I noticed that as all the candidates speak, the chair has become more and more vacant. That's kind of sad, but you know, that's life. I am here to ask you for your vote. I will tell you one thing, and Scout's honor, I will never, ever lie to you. You know, I was at a forum the other night, and one of the elected officials says, you know, I hate to come to these things. And I said, why? He He said, because everybody lies. Well, I pledge to you, my honor, that I will not lie to you, and my family will not gain in any way as your congressman, because first of all, I'm my parents' only son, and my sister, she's very, very wealthy, so she doesn't need to gain anymore.
You have an opportunity to ask your opponent that's not here a question and to answer it. Would you care?
Well, you know, I'd like to be considered a scholar and a gentleman, so I'm not going to ask Mr. Reyes a question.
Thank you.